Stand by. So, 10 ways to service connect sleep apnea. That's what we're talking about tonight. Let me get my stuff together here. So, lots of things, lots of ways to connect sleep apnea as a secondary VA disability claim. I'm just going to go over 10 of them. Service connection on a secondary basis is what we're going to talk about. Direct service connection is if you don't get diagnosed while you're in, your chances of getting a service connected for sleep apnea are pretty much non-existent. If you don't have a diagnosis while you're on active duty, I wouldn't even bother. So many other secondaries, so many ways to do it. I'd probably figure out something else. Service connection on a secondary basis. Showing of causation requires that the secondary disability be shown to be proximately caused by or proximately aggravated by another service-connected disability. In this case, proximately aggravated by. Speaking of aggravated, this camera's pissing me off. I gotta zoom it up a little bit. There we go. So by law, 3 evidentiary elements. Sorry, I'm looking at this camera, GoPro. Got some focus issues. Oh, my awesome face and eyes autofocus Sony A6100's like, dude, what the hell is on your face? Anyway, 3 things. Medical diagnosis of sleep apnea, evidence of a service-connected primary disability, something to connect it to, and then a nexus to link them together. Let's go ahead and hop into the screen share. Who knows where the hell that is? I guess we'll just go over here. Let's see what screen share this is. Wrong one. All right, here we go. Scroll over here. So I already did that. So let's just, these are 10 disabilities that you could connect sleep apnea to on a secondary basis. Just give you something to think about. There's tons of them available. Literally, I don't know, 100. But we got 10. So randomly, I picked these 10. Sleep apnea secondary to restless leg syndrome. Restless leg syndrome is a nervous system disorder that causes an overpowering urge to move your legs. Move your legs, people. People with restless leg syndrome have unusual feelings in their legs, like itching, crawling, I don't even get any of that. I'm just asleep in a nightmare. But if you are awake, I guess you can feel these kinds of things. The condition can also happen in other areas like the arms, chest, or head. The feelings usually happen on both sides of the body, and they can happen on only one side, all over the board. If you have restless leg syndrome, you have a diagnosis. How's my sleep apnea, my CPAP voice tonight? If you have a diagnosis for it, you might want to consider a sleep apnea claim. And wow, I am really not with it tonight. So I want to show you. I put in the description, I put the titles of these things that I'm talking about, and then I put a link to the BVA decisions, so you could just go look them up. Again, I'm just getting you guys thinking. So I just highlighted this. The only medical opinion of record indicates that the veteran's obstructive sleep apnea with restless leg syndrome had something got cut off during his had its onset during military service. If you're looking up BVA stuff and you're a total dork like me, you're going to look for findings of fact. All right, let's see if I can get to the second one. I am so all over the board tonight. This is funny. All right, cool. Next one. Sleep apnea secondary to PTSD. PTSD, mental health condition, right? It's got a stressor. It's a triggering event. And this is probably one of the most common ways that veterans do it. really doesn't matter what is common. This isn't like trendy, like who's cool. It's get it done. Lots of ways to get it done. PTSD is one way to get it done. I'm showing you just a little smattering of all sorts of things. So let's just go over to the. You guys all know what PTSD is, right? Oh, shoot. Oh, I don't have this thing. All right. Little adjustment. Stand by. All right. So again, these are all in the description. So if you want to just go get these links, the best way, by the way, is to go look at what other veterans have done. And I know I kind of contradict myself. All claims are different. Just because one guy or girl did something doesn't mean you're going to do it. But what other veterans have won at the BVA, that's a little different because they won it at the BVA. So you could literally go look this up, look at the argument that how this argument was made, and take a look at it, try it on for size, see if it works. So the evidence is in relative equipoise as to whether the veteran's obstructive sleep apnea is related to a service-connected PTSD. So this particular one is kind of funny because it doesn't say caused by or aggravated by. It says relative equipoise. That means it's a tie. Tie goes to the veteran. Veteran won. I know that's a little hard to wrap your head around, but if it really comes down to an equipoise situation, you got it. Sleep apnea secondary to tonsillitis. Ever had that? That sounds like fun. I don't even. Yeah, I probably have my tonsils taken out. Anyway, tonsillitis is an infection of the tonsils. Actually, need to hit the smoke. I should probably do this full screen. I was like, all right, I need to get the White Claw going. So I was like, oh, that sucks. I found a cool way to drink. You just kind of push it out of the way. Where's my flag at? See, it got a cool flag on this thing. Sidetracked we go. What a shocker. Yeah, so oh yeah, tonsillitis, sorry. That's what we're talking about. Choking a little bit tonight. It's okay. It's late night edition. So tonsils act as filters, trapping germs that could otherwise enter the airways and cause infection. Blah 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 blah. We've all pretty much known what tonsillitis is. If not, Google it. Let's get into the law part of it. And that would be PTSD. Close this one. All right. So the again got the links. Just highlighted it. This cool little thing in the Chrome browser. There's a little highlighting tool that I found. So kind of digging it. So the findings of fact. Always want to go to the findings of fact. So the competent medical evidence demonstrates that the veteran's obstructive sleep apnea is causally related to a service-connected tonsillitis. Causally related, right? Different way of looking at these words and using them, but that's where we're at. I see comments, and how's my lighting doing? Marine vet Tom was like, "Dude, that's cool, but you're too dark." So hopefully I'm not too dark tonight. Got my skeletons on the wall over there. Montana flag, U.S. flag, my eye exam chart because I'm not a doctor. What else we got? I got Christmas lights going. Oh, I could probably pull those up. So I got my Christmas thing for a little flair. What else we got going on? We got. There's the boy. What you doing, mister? Let's go say hi to Clyde. What are you doing? You're on camera again. Good boy. Clyde's not very excited. So that's what's going on with me. All right. Let's see. What's the next one? Nope. Sleep apnea secondary to chronic fatigue syndrome. This is one I have. It's a complicated disorder characterized by extreme fatigue or tiredness that can't be relieved or treated with rest and cannot be given an explanation for an underlying medical condition. That sums it up pretty good. You guys don't see what my life is like when I'm not on camera. It's pretty chronic fatigue-ish. But once I get going, I'm wound up and got all sorts of energy, and then I crash. So chronic fatigue syndrome could be something. If you're diagnosed for that, you might want to go for the secondary on that one. And the verbiage here is entitlement to service connection. Whoops. Oh, yeah. Okay. Entitlement to service connection for obstructive sleep apnea to include as secondary to chronic fatigue / fibromyalgia. And this happens a lot. When I got my rating for chronic fatigue syndrome, I had a fibromyalgia test. Goal 4 veteran. Not a doctor, not a lawyer, don't really understand it. Just got 60% for it. And I have it. And it's good to know what you have and get a diagnosis for it if at all possible. But if not, you can't do it. And I think I'm done with this thing. Holy shit. Much better. I can't even last very long with that thing. If you have to wear a CPAP, you know how fun it is. So we got chronic fatigue syndrome out of the way. Let us go over to my little switcher's not working. Oh shit. It is working. All right, next one. And yes, I see, what did I just see? Sleep apnea. I didn't put this one on here. Sleep apnea secondary to deviated septum. Yeah, there's tons of them. I just want to kind of throw a mixture of things out there to get you guys thinking. But yep, absolutely. That's one of them. So what is next? So sleep apnea secondary to congestive heart failure. Heart failure, sometimes known as congestive heart failure, occurs when your heart muscles don't pump blood as well as it should. Blah, 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 blah. You know what it is. If you have a diagnosis for it or you have it, you know what it is, right? So let's look at the verbiage here. Findings of fact. Resolving all doubt in the veteran's favor, the most probative evidence of record demonstrates that sleep apnea was caused or aggravated by hypertensive heart disease. And when you're looking at these findings of fact on BVA, and I encourage you to do so because the verbiage is a little bit different. But once you start getting used to the words a little bit, it's telling. So in this one, resolving all doubt in the veteran's favor, that's obviously a good one. The most probative evidence of record. So that's where the probative value comes on. Okay, so Austin's like much better. Yeah, I probably sounded a little clogged up. So this one is for the heart. Next one. Where is it? Really, without my stream deck, I'm really sucking tonight. Sorry about that. Sleep apnea secondary to allergic rhinitis. Allergic rhinitis occurs when allergens in the air lead to irritation and inflammation of the nasal passages. Allergens may include dust mites, pollens, molds, or pet dander. Glide, do you have pet dander? No, because you're a good boy. You don't have it. So if you have allergic rhinitis, you know what it is. I'm not going to read it all the way. Let's go see what this one says. So the veteran's sleep apnea was caused by a service-connected sinusitis with allergic rhinitis. And this one is combining the two. Sinusitis is another one. So this is a twofer. Got any of these ones? Let me know. Leave a comment. Let's go on to our next one here. Okay. Sleep apnea secondary to anxiety. Generalized anxiety disorder. Not going to go into explaining what anxiety is. If you're watching this, you probably already know. If not, that's what the Google machine's for. Let's see where our stuff is. Again, you can follow along, and in the links, you can pull these things up and see them. They won't be highlighted, obviously. That's something I did. The veteran's sleep apnea was caused by a service-connected anxiety disorder. So, just over the years, these things changed. Initially, I had unspecified anxiety disorder, and then that later changed into generalized anxiety disorder. So this one's anxiety disorder. I guess that would cover both of them. Sleep apnea is secondary to back pain. Common problem. Usually doesn't have a serious cause. Simple strain to a muscle or ligament, or, if you have back pain, that's the way it goes down. It's just all of a sudden, like something happens. Oh, I tweaked my back. And it's like, well, you just got a 10 millimeter disc at L5S1. Or you did something major. It doesn't really matter what happened or how you have it. Back pain sucks, as you all know. So let's go take a look at what this one has to say. The veteran's currently diagnosed sleep apnea, so he already had a diagnosis, is causally related to a service-connected back disability. All sorts of, again, these are out here. I'm just kind of blowing through, get to the comments, all that kind of stuff. The verbiage is everything. It's interesting looking at it and, reading it. It's different every time I read it. Saying the same thing, basically, but over the years, it kind of changes. Sleep apnea secondary to hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism is a condition in which the thyroid gland is not able to produce enough thyroid hormone. Since the main purpose of thyroid hormone is to run the body's metabolism, it's understandable that people with this condition will have symptoms associated with slow metabolism and potentially the sleep apnea claim. Resolving reasonable doubt in the veteran's favor, the veteran's obesity. This is a mixture of a bunch of things. I just grabbed this piece of it in the findings of fact. The veteran's obesity, diabetes, hypertension, sleep apnea, depression, skin rash, and eye disability were all caused or aggravated by a service-connected hyperthyroidism. So this one was, I don't know if this is a duty to assist one. I see dates of 2006 up here, so this was a minute ago. But all these things were connected to hyperthyroidism, and if you have that, lots of secondaries for that one as well. All right. Sleep apnea is secondary to Gerd, gastroesophageal reflex disease, aka hiatal hernia. It happens when stomach acid flows back into the tube connecting your mouth and stomach, your esophagus. This backwash is known as acid reflux. It irritates the lining, and there's a bunch of different ratings for that. But let's say you already have GERD, and you're thinking about connecting sleep apnea to it. Then we could go over to the screen share, and if we look at this example, the veteran's current obstructive sleep apnea is aggravated by a service-connected gastroesophageal reflex disease, GERD, with a history of esophagus and hematemesis. So this one says aggravated by, when I talk about sleep apnea, caused by versus aggravated by. I've just been kind of seeing aggravated by more lately. ATX Patriot is a rater. He would definitely know a hell of a lot more than I would. So that's going to wrap this portion of it up. Clyde, where are you? Why aren't you on your here? You got to get on the Clyde cam. Come on. Don't stand underneath there. All right, let's take some comments here. Let me drag those over. If you guys like this kind of content and want to see more of it, don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, click the notification bell. For some reason, YouTube is not publishing all these videos, even if you click all. Not really sure what's up with that, but that's helpful. Single camera. All right, let's go. Let's throw some comments up here. And I should probably put them over here. So I'm kind of looking at the camera a little bit. Okay, let's see what we got. I'm going to start with the bottom. If you have a question, put the letter Q so I can see it. If not, I'm just going to randomly hop through here, and who knows, hopefully this won't turn into a 4-hour thing, but I'm not in a hurry. But what I am in a hurry to do is to go take a piss, so be right back. Before I throw comments up here, I just want to address the video that I made earlier today. When you're talking about stuff, you never know how, I put it together and try to frame it, and I do what I do. But you guys are the ones that, watch the videos and respond to them and all that kind of stuff. So I was simply pointing out that bulimia and anorexia are, they fall into the mental health realm, but they're separately rated. And I premiered it, and nobody really got it. And ATX Patriot was like, yeah, I haven't really seen those, so it's not a really popular claim. And then one person, Nick Logan, was saying that, yeah, I really want to know about weight gain, not that kind of stuff. So, and then somebody was giving Nick some shit. And Nick, I appreciate it if you're on here, or if you're going to watch this or whatever. I appreciate the feedback. All you guys, whatever feedback, especially when they just suck and they don't make sense. Whatever. The cool part is I can just fire it up and do another video. And yeah, I'm not a polished, whatever, television personality. I definitely make shitty videos. I don't try to. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. Okay, so let's see. Fernando's jamming an Avatar. What's up with that, dude? Rocking and rolling. U.S. Navy veteran, chilling in Mexico, drinking margaritas. It actually is for VA purposes. VA rating purpose is actually called hiatal hernia. I know it's not in the normal world, but for a VA claim, it's rated under hiatal hernia, unless that's changed recently. Desert Rose, Night All. Cool. We got Alex in here. Alex knows his shit. ATX Patriot driving the live chat. If you're just watching the replay, going, wow, what a jackass! Can't even understand what he's saying. Hopefully, you guys are gonna pop into the live chat. It's a lot better, but we'll see how the comments go. Austin's working on OSA secondary to PTSD, somatic symptom disorder, and ortho conditions. Lots of conditions. OSA secondary to chronic sinusitis, waiting on rating. I covered that one. Cool. So my little pick wasn't too bad. Yeah, TBI didn't cover tonight. Insomnia, that's another one. Yep. Not sure what that is, Sean. You wear the chin strap to keep your mouth closed. I mean, there's so much stuff with the CPAP and, the mouth things. And it's a nightmare trying to figure out something that works. And I actually laugh at my CPAP because my doctor's like, you have insomnia and you need to go to cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. Like, that thing's just going to piss you off. It ain't going to help you sleep anymore. And so mine is mild. And basically, he's just like, hey, you got it. Get used to it. You're probably going to have to use it if you keep eating McDonald's and getting fatter and older and all that kind of stuff. But right now, he told me not to wear it. But now I moved to Idaho. My doctor's like, you should wear it. So VA doctors, complete moronic, contradicting jackasses. But we got to love them. Sleep apnea secondary to deviated septum. That's busted my nose when I was 15, so that would be pre-existing. I actually had septum or deviated septum surgery when I was in Turkey. If you had that surgery, that's fun, huh? They like do whatever they do, and then they put a bunch of tape in there. It's like, holy shit. And it's like, ow. Feels like it's 10 feet long. You're waiting on a sleep apnea supplemental claim decision. Have CPAP Nexus letter submitted. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, man. Absolutely. I do wear pants sometimes. Yeah, full disclosure. Sometimes I just sit here and free ball it, but sorry. Yeah. I again, just trying new stuff. It doesn't always work. The funny part is you guys see me doing all my moronic stuff. The longer you've been watching, yeah, I am not afraid to try new things at all. My take on sleep apnea is secondary to lower back. Yep, absolutely. Back pain drives so much stuff. There's so many secondaries. It's one of many. That's just my take. I'm not even going to go into it so much. Oh, perfect. I did do this live just for you. Awesome. It is early. What is it? 10:33. I haven't done one this kind of whatever late at night, which means obviously I need to do one at 3:00 in the morning because I haven't done one of those in a while. Sam, no hello, my peeps. Get an avatar. Gun guy, what up, homie? Remember, sleep apnea may not receive a claim. VA will say, "Oh, it's not service connected." Yeah. So, and what Alex is saying here is, out of all this VA bullshit, mumbo jumbo stuff, get a diagnosis, get a severity of symptoms. If you get a sleep study and you're you're found to have obstructive sleep apnea or central or mixed, and you end up with a CPAP machine, it's an automatic rating for 50% if you can get it to stick. It's all about the nexus. So it's all over the board, but you got the diagnosis and you have the severity of the symptoms. That's where the CPAP comes from. It's prescribed to you. Nexus is everything. There's nothing automatic about it. Yeah, you've had restless leg syndrome for years. I don't like. I've woken myself up. I sleep so weird. That's probably not what I'm focusing on. I'm like, what the hell's, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm sure my restless legs have woken me up, and it's different for everybody. For me, it was more my ex-wife. Like, I don't want to sleep in the same bed as you anymore. I was like, cool, I get the whole guest bedroom to myself. But it's different for everybody. Um, yeah, it is early for an insomniac. This is not late night edition. I'm sorry, my insomniac peeps. I need to roll on about 3 o'clock. Nope, we're always up. Okay, gotcha. I'm just going up through this list, and then I'll go back. Do the run with the mask on. I hate that thing. But I thought it would just be kind of funny. ATX Patriot. So, are you on the clock and rating claims right now? Just kind of curious. You're obviously here. Appreciate you and appreciate the feedback. I think this morning you made a comment like, "Yeah, I'm watching your premiere and rating." I'm sure you probably have normal office hours, but appreciate that you're on. Everybody that's on. I'm always on. Most of the time, I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to not make a complete jackass out of myself. But whatever. Not afraid of doing that. All right, let's scroll back down to the bottom of the comments here. What's up, gang? How's my audio doing? I put a foam over my foam. This microphone's cool, but it's not very good with the stock foam for plosives. Plosives are when you say like Peter, Pepper, like P sounds, and there's a bunch of other sounds. So I was sitting here talking into it. And I think the bass was good, but it was popping and it was irritating me. So I think this solved it. But let me know. Avatar of a Desert Rose. Werewolf. Is it werewolf one or werewolf? I'm not really sure. I appreciate it either way. Yeah. So yeah, you're speaking from firsthand knowledge on that. I also was diagnosed with sleep apnea and given a CPAP machine. I shared my story. It just, the doctor's like, yeah, you probably don't want to use that thing. Well, why the hell did you give it to me? Anyway, different story for a different day. But yeah, it's far from automatic. You are not out of the woods with a diagnosis and a CPAP. No matter what everybody says, including myself, this automatic thing, if you don't have the nexus and you don't have the right nexus, yeah, forget about it. It ain't going to work. We're not going to accept the fact that Comeback Craig looks like the guy from Jurassic Park. Looks like him. I don't know. I don't watch Jurassic Park. You've been denied a rating twice. Been trying since 2005. Most of your current issues are not annotated in your medical records. Trying to get some advice. Not sure what the context of this comment is. I was denied. I didn't start my first one until 2008. Didn't know that you had to go complain about stuff. I mean, active duty, they didn't want complaining. They didn't care. VA doesn't really care that much more, although you need to complain somewhere to have it on a medical record. Urgent care, private doctor, some kind of doctor. Can't complain to your wife. Got to be a MD or doctor or medical. I think it's licensed medical professional. So at this point, if you've been denied twice, it's an uphill battle, obviously, because now you're going to go round three. I would probably look at something else to go after. There might be there's so many other secondary service connections, but it's going to have to be a lot stronger on round three. Now, if you didn't know what you were doing and you're totally clueless and you barely had a diagnosis or you definitely didn't have a nexus. Getting that stuff lined up is important. Get somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. There is an intent to file date or date in which the VBA receives your claim. Yeah, the intent to file is the first place that you want to start if you're filing a VA claim. It's weird. You can like fill out the form and send it in, but like on va.gov, you just start the claims process. Like, want to file a claim? Big green button, like, yes. Are you sure? Yes. Or, I don't know what it says. I haven't filed a claim in a year and a half. But it asks you a couple questions. And then after you get about 3 pages into it, it's like, okay, we've received your intent to file. You don't need to put any more information in. And please don't. Like, figure out what you're doing, have a strategy. If you just keep blowing through it, you're going to screw it up. But that's how you do the intent to file digital edition, and that'll preserve your effective date for a year. So you have a year to build your claim, and you'll get your back pay till whatever it is, 12/5 or what is the date today? I have no clue. No clue what day it is or the date. You need sleep, unable to type. Okay. Burning the midnight oil. You have CPAP, and yes, I'm on a CPAP machine. And keep asking questions because I'm blowing through all these questions. So I'll just keep rambling on about, whatever. Let's do the GoPro angle again. What do you think about the GoPro angle? Let's talk about my setup a little bit. Got the, and I don't want to move it too much. I could move it a little bit. No, I'm not going to move it too much. So it's a GoPro 8. I don't want to move it because everything's wired in. So this camera right here is a Sony A6100. It's got a 16 millimeter f1.4 lens. Very shallow depth of field. That's why I have that blurry background going on and it's super in focus. And then the Sonys are great at tracking your face and your eyes. Got my iMac Pro right here. Got my Stream Deck right here. Working on my desk in my office. I painted these walls. I painted it green semi-gloss, which was dumb. I went to the oops pile in Home Depot. I was like, oh, sweet, I'll buy this for $30. Semi-gloss, light bounces all over the place. As you can see, I have lights all over the place. You can see I have one there, one behind this monitor, and then one over there, and then lights here and lights behind me. Clyde's bed. This is like an old shutter door. I was going to put that thing like up on the wall, but it's too big, so it's horizontal. Got a TV in the background that probably can't see it too well, and some drones and some feet, and yeah, I'm just working on it. So live streaming's a trip. It's interesting trying to get it going, but getting the tech going and audio and all that stuff is huge. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, thumbs up or appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe. I guess I don't have my little thumbs up animation. What do we got? Let's do the, where is it? Live demo mode. So this is what I'm seeing. I have two monitors going. You probably saw that in the GoPro. So I have two monitors going because having it all on my iMac's is kind of a pain in the butt. But we got 81 people watching, 48 thumbs up. Hit some thumbs up if you can. One thumb down. That happens too. All good. Looks like my focus is... Come on, Sony. What's going on? Focus. Oh. It's blurry. This sucks. Okay. Oh, might be this option that I'm in. Okay. Live demo mode. Wow, my camera's like not doing very good right now. All right, I'm going back to the GoPro. Okay, let's throw some more comments. Okay. It's 12:33 in Virginia. I think we're back. There we go. Most of the secondary sleep claims are initially denied. You will mostly see grants when they do occur on the appeals and the BVA side. Yeah, just kind of from where I sit and what I see, it's like half of the people win it and then half just lose. And that's not based on me knowing anything about the claims, just kind of like just my heart or my fingers kind of on the pulse a little bit. But that totally makes sense. And I understand why it makes sense. You need some clarification. You're 90% receive IU, but your award letter says permanent and total. Are my ratings protected? Yeah, you're 90%, but you're 100% TDIU P&T. So you're protected. You want to return to school. Don't go through the VA to do that because they don't really like pick one, dude. Are you 100% unable to work, or are you going to go back to school and get a job? But I get it. TDIU is trippy. If you're going to be on IU, you're never going to work again. Is basically that's why they pay you at the 100% rate. So make sure you know what you're doing with school and work, and you can do some work. And I don't want to go into all that right now. Better to be 100% scheduler, but obviously the jump between 90 and 100 is huge, right? What is it, like 19 or 2100 or something to 3100? So you got it. Just you're there. Just choose wisely so you don't get reduced. Oh, okay. I couldn't do those hours. I couldn't do any hours, but good. Video's been great so far. You know it's not great? Your avatar's not great. Get one. P sounds great. Thumbs up. Wondering if supplemental claims take as long to come. Been waiting 5 months. Got your CNP exam. No clue. All over the board. The entire thing. There's averages on the VA's website, which are probably pretty much bullshit. There's no averages because averages don't apply to you, right? Because it's your claim. And it's like, shit, how long is this going to take? It's going to take as long as it takes, and hang in there. And, don't beat yourself up over it. If you built a good claim, obviously you had to do a supplemental. So if you threw in some actual good, new, and relevant medical evidence, feel good about it. It's not going to do any good feeling bad about it. Like, it's taking long. I'm going to get fucked. That may be the case, but be optimistic. You don't know that until you actually get the decision letter. But I know you're going to keep checking e-benefits and beat yourself up. I get it. I do that too. Don't apply to supplemental claims. Okay. I think you're talking about the ACE. I can't remember what that. I can't remember what that stands for. The medical review is the records review. They've been doing that a lot more. I'm sure they've been doing it all along. But they're like before you get a reduction, they're probably going to do a records review. One of the things they're going to review is has this veteran been going and does he have problems? Is he getting better or worse or whatever? Um, I don't know what it means exactly. It happens and results come out of them, both good and bad. I don't really have an opinion. It's part of the process. And it also means your claims file is going to be reviewed. Your VA shrink just told you to ask your primary care to order a sleep study, and he agreed, which obviously doesn't matter what he agreed to because he's a shrink. You need to get through your primary care and actually get into the sleep study. So that's your next focus. I don't know. I don't know. Primary care has nothing to do with mental health. I don't know how far away they actually sit from each other or no, but they're totally different animals. It probably doesn't hurt that he recommended it, but you need to find out what the markers are. Fat neck, restless leg syndrome. There's a few of them, and they'll like ask you like 5 or 6 questions, or they asked me 5 or 6 questions, and I had like 3 out of the 5 or 6 questions. They're like, "All right, cool, you passed the test. Now you got to go to the sleep study." Not awesome yet. I'm working on it. It's my basement, and yeah, I've moved all the furniture out. I'm going to turn this whole thing into like a big studio. So stay tuned. If you get denied because you are inept and submitted a bad claim with bad evidence, can you refile later on with proper evidence supporting your claim? Yeah, this is my quicksand foundation analogy. And John, I would first like to appreciate you for realizing that your claim is dog shit and so is your evidence. So that's the cool. I mean, you do have one strike against you. A lot of people just want to dig in. It's like, shit, I waited for 6 months for this thing. I'm going to appeal it. I mean, if it's a house built on quicksand and you're pumping concrete underneath to make the quicksand more foundational ish, a lot of times you might want to just scrap it and refile it again later and actually get medical evidence to support it. So, absolutely. You could file a claim whenever you want. There's no time limit. You could file a claim every year until the day you die. That's not what we're shooting for, but you can file a claim whenever you want. So, yeah, I would definitely look at it. Sounds like you already have your mind made up, and I'm with you. File a new claim and bring it this time. You filed PTSD, increase granted, sleep apnea denied. I now know the difference between filing direct and secondary. Yeah. Um, I didn't learn that till about a year and a half ago either. Um, yeah, a direct service connection claim for sleep apnea it's a loser. Like ATX Patriots in here, I would say it's like 99.9% because there's nothing that's 100% certainty. But yeah, you've been out for 10 years or 20 or 30, 40 years. You file a direct service connection claim for sleep apnea. Yeah, that's gonna lose it. But rebuild it and stick it onto something else. I went through 10 things. There's hundreds of them, I'm sure. You wish I wish to provide you some content on the level one day. I think that's a compliment. No, they're all LEDs, and I'm in a basement, so I'm in actually pretty good shape. And let's probably just go back over to the. Yeah, I'm kind of stoked on the GoPro view. I need to get the thing mounted on the wall. And you know what? Maybe I will move this. So I'm going to try something and I might disconnect it. Oh, shit. I got to turn the other camera on. So it's a GoPro 8. I'm not going to adjust the tripod. I hope you could hear me. So you have to take the battery out if you're going to live stream, and the batteries get hot. It's out of my Sony as well. I have that directly wired in. Memory cards are out. So the GoPro 8's pretty high res. 9's probably better. This is fine. I had to get the media module kit for it, which allows it to connect in an HDMI connection and a power source. And yeah, it's basically all Mickey Moused up. So I was like, cool, I'm going to GoPro it and just stick it with the sticky mount to the ceiling. Yeah, with all these wires. I already know it's going to fall down and then I'm probably just going to smash it. So, working on working on getting my wire situation organized a little bit, and I'm gonna move it back on that shelf somewhere. But yeah, that's my story and sticking to it. And then when I move it over too much over here, it gets in the way of. No, it's actually not in the way right now. Yeah, you can see the tripod leg. Oh, Zoom's not working again. Come on. Oh, Zoom's sucking. Maybe it's my glasses or something. What's going on? All right, GoPro angle. So it's just fun figuring all this kind of stuff out, and just yep, that's what we're doing. All right, thanks. Ben, this is the first I've heard of a nexus and a supplemental claim. I didn't have a nexus in the beginning. I had no guidance. Yeah, so God, that camera is not focusing. Come on, camera. What are you doing? Oh, my main camera's sucking. So where I'm no exception to this. We don't file our claims right. I'm trying to encourage people to, that are on active duty to get all this stuff done. So when you roll out of the military, you actually do this right. But for the most part, there was no internet and YouTube and, Combat Craig with his dog in the background. So you learn as you learn. Get pointed in the right direction. You're pointing yourself in the right direction by educating yourself. Just stay on it. It's a full-time job figuring this stuff out. Get the basics going so when you're asking questions or you're seeking help, you actually know what you're doing and you know why you're doing it, or you're kind of like, getting in a you're getting pointed in a direction of some sort. Now we're zoomed back in. So you're headed in the right direction already, man. The Watcher. So, second sleep study after no progress or improvement in sleep after being issued a CPAP. I was recently prescribed narcolepsy. Yep. You can build that up all you want to do. Your nexus is the problem. Again, nothing's 100%. I'm 99.9% sure. Nexus statements are difficult. Just your nexus is the problem. I'm sure of it. Yeah, and that's kind of the cool part about this. I mean, it's not cool that you have to go through all this bullshit and lose. But the cool part is you can come and then like, all right, well, my claim's dog shit, so I'm just gonna ditch it and abandon it and build a new one. It's something that's afforded to us. Hindsight is 2020, and learn from it. Get better next time. And it all comes down to taking your claim seriously, understand who you're dealing with. The VA is not friendly. They're not duty to assisting. The VHA is different than the VBA. They all just want you to quit and die. The best veteran is a dead veteran. This whole like, oh, thank you for your service. It's all complete bullshit. There are veterans that work at the VA, absolutely, and they will probably tell you the same thing. The VA just sucks, and we need to burn it all down. And I would love to somehow get a restart. Keep the finance people so the checks come and just go state by state and fire every single person in there because they're all tainted. So step one is intent to file, and then start trying to build evidence with the outside doctor. Um, Generally speaking, yes, the intent to file is the first step. Trying to figure out what evidence you have would probably be where I would start, and then what do you have? What kind of claim are you building? Is it a direct service connection claim? If that's the case, then you're going to be looking toward your service treatment records. Have you looked at them all? Have you got your claims file? What the hell's in there, if anything? And then if there's nothing there, which there's not going to be combat PTSD in your service treatment records, maybe there is now, but I mean, PTSD didn't exist. It was like in 1980. So then you're going to look to VHA records. How strong's that? Lowballing, downplaying your symptoms. You can do it with service treatment records and with VHA records. But it's not a bad idea to get an outside doctor because the VHA is wishy-washy about diagnosis and calling things out. You show up and it's like, here you go, diagnostic code, Nexus, DBQ filled out. You'll at least get into a CNP exam, and that's what you want to do. Right on, Alex. Or what time is it in Hawaii time? Knowledge is power. Typically a good statement. Knowledge is just for me, and like I don't know. I know what I know. I'm not a doctor. Like I got like doctor things back there. I have no clue how to pronounce half that shit on the wall. So I know what I know and what I learn. I learn something. Try to learn things every day. Um, Knowledge is power, but knowledge is just knowledge. It has to be actionable. You need to get help, and it's good to get a clue and have knowledge, but then you need to be able to execute. That's a different animal altogether, but a good first step. Cool. It's a good place to stop by, but I would encourage you, like literally, I'm just a jackass in a cowboy hat. I'm not accredited. I'm sitting here drinking booze and smoking cigarettes, and just like I enjoy this thing. I'm into the tech, and you guys are watching. I appreciate it. Love you guys for supporting me, but do not just stop at one place and oh, okay, well that's what that guy said or that's what that girl said. uh, don't trust and verify everything twice. Um, Easier said than done, but double check what you're being told or strategies that you're thinking of deploying. Check it and make sure it's right. And of course, you never know it's right until you actually go fight it, and then you win. The there's so many, the right and wrong thing, like it really comes down to the argument at the BVA. Just because you lost it at the local VA regional office, that doesn't mean that you're not going to win it at the BVA with a lawyer representing you. But you want to do your best to like avoid that if at all possible. Thanks, Earl. You're fashionably late a lot, but right on, man. I think I just answered that one. VA just closed your claim, sent out your decision letter. Wish you luck. Praying for schedule 100% scheduler. Praying for you too. Good luck. VA dragging their feet, still waiting on my general exam. That's what they do. They drag, 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 and drag ass more. I'm dealing with it now. I've moved to a different VA regional office and not very impressed so far. But, I guess my fight is no longer with the VBA. I'm playing defense because I'm 100% PNT. Know who you're fighting. I think it's better to fight for your benefits. And then at just the VHA, there's just no accountability. Fired, fired, fired. They suck. A lot of things aggravate sleep apnea. Absolutely. Yeah, and that really is there's no like I don't even know if there is an average claims, but I don't even know why that's put out there. I think it's like a big fluff thing. There's so many factors, individual factors, internal factors, political factors. Just claims are complicated. Just nobody's different, and the human body has all sorts of stuff going on. Once you got the CMPOs about a month, if I was going to have an average, that would be kind of average-ish. But the moment I tell you, hey, it's going to be about a month, it's going to take 4. So I try not to, whatever. Did you upload an avatar? Hope so. You had your C&P exam today for sleep apnea secondary to PTSD. The examiner literally said the VA sent out an email to examiners stating the VA won't approve sleep apnea secondary to PTSD. So that's bullshit. First of all, let me tell you why. Um, like the examiner doesn't work at the VA. Who was it? QTC, VES, LHI? He has no clue what happens at the VA. He's a private doctor, contractor. So that's the first thing. He's gossiping to you about the VA. Like what? The VA and where do you live? You live in Texas? Did the VA in Wyoming get the memo? I mean, we're talking about all 50 states, tons of VA regional offices in divisions. I think I don't think that statement's accurate because if you could prove it, you could prove it. It's just comes down to proving it. Social Security is a completely different animal. I would not use the same evidence used to win your TDIU claim for your Social Security disability insurance claim. Understand that they're different and they're two different bureaucracies and different rules and stuff. You just got denied for sleep apnea secondary to depression. They said that I was diagnosed, right? You have the CPAP. They can't connect it. That's a nexus problem for sure. Yep. So in this particular situation, this rater hasn't got that directive. I stream from a Mac and I use a program called Ecamm Live. Yeah, it is pretty crazy, but that's what C&P examiners say. He's just going off, just saying a bunch of stuff he doesn't know about. He's also probably thank you for your service, and at least it was kind of honest. Like, yeah, I'm going to give you a bad recommendation, and he's blaming it on the entire VBA. But yeah, the C&P examiners, don't trust them. They watch what you say in front of them, and what they say isn't going to translate to a rater. They have no control over what a rater is going to do. Rater relies on them heavily, obviously, but oh yeah, you got this one, Craig. You're good. I got your back. That means nothing. Okay. Combat Craig Studios presents. Yes. Yeah, it's turning into kind of a entertainment thing. I'm okay with it. if you guys are going to watch. Yeah, so I could stream from my GoPro, but wireless has problems. I have good internet, but just you got to be wired in. It's just better. And then I stream from Ecamm Live. I use multiple cameras. I need to see my multiple monitors. And the way my streaming setup is, wireless is just, I have enough problems. Wireless is just going, that's just asking for problems. Kind of like filing a sleep apnea claim without a nexus, if that makes sense. Yeah, the microphone's too close to the lens. My lens is wide. It's just kind of in the shot. I'm aware of that. Uh, I whatever. My last microphone, you couldn't even hear it. So it was focusing on the. I don't know what's going on with the focusing. It's supposed to be focusing on my face. It could be doing that, and I might have the autofocus set up wrong. I'm probably hit a button or something. Equipoise is a tie. So in a tie situation, the tie goes to the runner, to use the baseball analogy, but the tie is supposed to go to the veteran. And what you're supposed to do is not end up in a tie. You don't want to shoot for a tie. Not that you really have much control over that, but don't show up with a tie. Show up with more medical evidence and overwhelm the scales in your favor. That doesn't necessarily mean they will be in your favor, but show up with more. And I don't mean more buddy letters and more personal statements. Include those. Those just have less probative value. You need actual medical evidence, objective medical evidence, MRIs, stuff like that. That's better. It's a Views Vibe menthol. Not really. If the doctor is writing a nexus and relating to a publication, yeah, maybe I should move the. Maybe I am focusing on that. I think my focus is jacked up. Uh, Publications are publications. Anybody could download those off the internet. It's helpful, but they are not the doctor diagnosing you and talking about your condition and how it's connected to service. All these things are good. Buddy letters, personal statements, supporting publications, that helps in the fully developed claim process. But there's a weight, a probative value weight. I don't know what it is. I just know that objective medical evidence is better with mental health. It's tricky. They can't do an MRI, and they don't, of your brain and stuff like that. If it's a busted leg, they can go in and do an MRI and see stuff. So I don't even know enough to be dangerous. Got fit for a mouthpiece through a VA approved dentist. Sleep study done at Long Beach off of Lakewood and PCH. What a shithole VA regional office. That was my regional office for, I don't know, 20 years probably. I don't know about the mouthpiece thing. I know about the CPAP stuff. I don't think the mouthpiece is as strong as a CPAP. I'm not sure though. Your retirement physical, 10% for sinusitis with deviated septum. Uh, yeah, you can file a sleep apnea claim if you got the symptoms and you do it right. Yeah, that's a secondary, but it's complicated, as Ray points out. Okay, you're QTC. Okay, just move. Yeah, it's cool when you move and, whatever, you have problems with your old VA regional office. It's cool when you start having a good feeling I moved to Montana. It was like walking into Mars. Montana, I had a great experience. I know not everybody does, but yeah, so far where I'm at in Idaho, not so much, but whatever. Okay, let's see. Yes, no nexus, denied for sure. Yeah, I think I don't know what's going on. This thing usually focuses pretty good, but we'll see. I probably was dicking around with it and I hit something. I see autofocus on it. Looks right on the. I have my screen flipped up. It looks like it's all set up right. Yep, that's what's going to happen. You're no nexus denied. I'm going to go 100% on that one. If OSA was diagnosed in service, yes, that's a good direct service connection. If not, you're probably going to go a secondary route and you're going to need medical evidence, and Nexus is a huge part of it. From what your sleep specialist told you, where's your sleep specialist located? In the enemy's den at the VA? I'd take that with a grain of salt. Seems like heart disease would be secondary to sleep apnea. So sleep at yeah, I think it goes back and forth. My focus is going back and forth too. So that's why we have the Clyde cam. Yeah, a lot of these things, go back and forth. Secondaries can go back and forth. You got to figure out which one is something the VA is going to buy the most and going to be the most logical. That's one thing to think about, and then what you can prove. All right, cool. My camera's pissing me off because it's not focusing, so I'm gonna have to go back to work and figure out my live stream stuff. So, what did we do here? An hour and 15 minutes. Awesome. Thanks for your support, and I will see you kids soon. Have a good night.